ಪರಿಣಾಮಕಾರಿಯಾಗಿ ತಲುಪಿಸ್ತಾರೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಈ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟಿನ ಒಂದು ಉದ್ದೇಶವಾಗಿರುತ್ತದೆ. ಶುಭ ಹಾರೈಕೆಗಳು, ಪ್ರಶಾಂತ್ ಅವರೇ.
Namaskara. How many of you really like to talk? Show of hands, please. Yeah. One common aspect amongst all of us is our desire to talk. It may be Dr. Ajit, it may be Dr. Kamlakar Ashrekar, or Mr. Anil Kumar, or our timer Shailaja, or our Toastmasters of the day. The common factor amongst all people is our desire to talk. And by talking, some of us are comfortable in our mother tongue. For me, it's Kannada, so I'm comfortable in Kannada. And some of us use English also to talk. It's the means of communication. Now, I was invited for a Toastmasters meeting. And when I went there, the Toastmaster of the day politely welcomed me. And he asked me, would you be like to be a grammarian? I was thinking, English is not one of my strengths. And English grammar is not at all my cup of tea or coffee or milk or whatever you drink. So I was thinking and finally accepted, why not be a grammarian for a day? I listened to the speeches carefully, paying my attention, keeping my eye or rather my ear for all the grammatical mistakes people do. After end of 1 hour, I noticed one thing. People like to talk everywhere. And one more funny thing is, English is really funny language. How many of you agree with me? You must have heard Amitabh Bachchan saying in the Makhalal interview, you see, sir, I can walk English, I can talk English, I can laugh English, because English is a very funny language. Absolutely right. He's bang on. English is really very, very funny language. Unlike my mother tongue, which is Kannada, in English, there's a concept of some silent letters. It means some words have some spellings or letters which are to be written down. Like example, knife. Spelling is K-N-I-F-E. But when you speak, we see knife. Where is K? Shh. K is not to be pronounced, it's silent. Where is E? Again, E is silent. Uchcharsangilla, but you have to write it down. It seems to me that there is some effort going on to save our energy while we're speaking, not to pronounce those letters. One more funny thing about English is, when I was in America working, there used to be a guest to my place, and as is a custom, I offered him, would you like to have some water to drink? And then back came the answer, I'm good. If you translate in Kannada, it means nimge ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನೀರು ಕೊಡ್ಲೆ, and the answer is ನಾನು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ದೀನಿ. I know you are good. I am offering some water to drink. Do you want it? Yes or no? But later on I learned that I am good means nange beda anta. I am not telling that English only is a funny language. Kannada also has got its own funny tones and the way we use Kannada also. I remember an example. In Kannada, we know we pronounce some letters more than necessary. Like when English we remove some letters, silent letters. In Kannadadalli ನಾವು ಇವತ್ತು ನಾನು ಮಳೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಫುಲ್ಲು ನೆನ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ. ವಾಟ್ ದಿ ಹೆಲ್ ಇಸ್ ಫುಲ್ಲು? ಫುಲ್ಲು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಪ್ಪ? ಫುಲ್ಲು is not a word. Full is the word. You are adding full ooh there. So we add some extra effects to our language when we speak, right? And maybe fullu is a Kanglish. It's a mix of both English and Kannada. There are many examples like that. And not only when speaking, I also have a very, very good friend of mine. He is a Kannadiga, and ಒಮ್ಮೆ ಅವನು ಪದಚಿತ್ರವಾಗಿ ಹಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದ. ನಿಮ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ ಈ ಹಾಡು ಗೊತ್ತಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಆಸೆಯ ಭಾವ ಒಲವಿನ ಜೀವ ಒಂದಾಗಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಹೊಸ ಬಗೆ ಗುಂಗಿನ ನಿಶೆ ತಾನೇರಿದಂತಿದೆ. So that song is very popular. You might have heard it, but the way he was saying is, ಆಸೆಯ ಭಾವ ಒಲವಿನ ಜೀವ ಒಂದಾಗಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಹೊಸ ಬಗೆ ಹೂವಿನ ನಿಷೇಧಾನ್ ಹೇರಿದಂತಿದೆ. ಗುರು ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೀಯಾ? ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕೋ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೀಯಾ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕೋ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೀಯ, ಜಾಸ್ತಿ. ದೆನ್ ಹಿ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್, ಹೌದೇ, ನಾನು ಹೇಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ ನಂಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಲಿಲ್ವಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಎತ್ತರ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ. ಗುರುನ ಕೈ ಮುಗಿತೀನಿ, ನೀನೇನು ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಡಪ್ಪ, ಸಾರಿ ನೀನೇ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಡಪ್ಪ, ನೀನ್ ಸುಮ್ನೆ ಬಂದು ನಮ್ಮ ಕನ್ನಡ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಬೈಲಿಂಗ್ವಲ್ ಕ್ಲಬ್ ಜಾಯ್ನ್ ಆಗು, ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಆಪರ್ಚುನಿಟಿ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ನೀನ್ ಕನ್ನಡ ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ, ಉಚ್ಚಾರಣೆ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತೆಲ್ಲ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಬಹುದು. Please don't get me wrong, friends. I'm not condemning people or I'm not against any language, but the way we use language. Kannada is one of the oldest language in India after Tamil. It's even older than English. But the way we use the language determines the way we speak and we communicate to our fellow colleagues or friends, etc. Even English, for that matter, is not perfect. When Kannada or any language may not be perfect, the way we communicate is more important. I remember I was having a vacation in last week of December, and this happened to me in Rajasthan. We were going in the fort, like how all of you maybe in KEBT went to Chitradurga fort last week and enjoyed. I had been to Rajasthan fort, and there was this guide who was taking us, and you know how guides speak English, right? You might have observed. And once I became Toastmaster, I've been observing this very much. So there was a small doorway where we had to pass, and he was going in front of us, and he just turned back and said, take your head, take your head, take your head. I was like, where else can I keep my head? I have to take my head. He meant, take care of your head, bow down and then come inside. Well, after some time, he started shouting, now we returns, now we returns. I was like, you know, film is it Mummy Returns or Return of the Dragon or something? Then they realized he's telling us to say that the tour is over and we need to return back and of course pay him the bakshish, what he is expected. So now let's all return back. I want to thank for this opportunity for my dear friends in KEBT Toastmasters Club. Back to you, Toastmasters of the day. Thank you.